Hello, good morning and welcome back to my channel. My name is Cynthia. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make this beautiful dress you're seeing here. This beautiful dress, I saw it on some fashion models, so these are the pictures. So I also wanted to replicate them. So I'll be using this net. I have about 20 yards of net here because I want mine to be very, very full. And then this is the fabric I'll be using for the upper side, this shiny fabric. I don't really know the name. It's not Ankara, it's like a poly fabric. Okay, it's like a full poly fabric, you can see it. So you also be needing lining to line up your the down part after you are through with putting the satin, the net. So this is I bought satin. This is a doll face satin. And then I will also be lining the upper bodies. So I'm using this lining. This is an okay lining, so I'll be using it. All right, so please, if today is your first time of coming to this channel, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. We'll just go into the class immediately. Now the measurements I'll be working with is shoulder of 16 inches. The bust I'm going to be using is bust of 47 inches. My underbust is 40 inches. Waist is 44 inches. The hip is 58 inches. All right, so then the length of the gown, it all depends on where you want yours to be. But for today, I should be making it just maybe 60 to 58 inches. All right, because I don't want it to touch the ground. I want it to flow very well, but not really touching the ground. So let's go into the class. The shoulder I'm working with, like I said, is 16 inches. Divided by 2, we have 8 inches. So I'll add ½ inch for my allowance. So the bust point I'm using is 10 inches. The armhole I'm working with is 9 inches. The underbust I'll be using is 16 inches. Then the waist I'll be working with is 19. The hip line is 25. And then after getting the hip, I'll be measuring like 7 inches. You can use 6 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So at the end I have 32 inches. So I'll just draw my line and make them visible. So this is it. I have my bust, my armhole, bust points, underbust, waistline, hip line, and the 7 inches that makes up the gown. Like I said, you can use 6 inches for this. It's your choice. All right, so let's continue. Now I'm going to put my neckline. You can choose any neckline of your choice. I'll be using 4 inches here, and then here I'll be using 3 inches. So I'm just going to curve it, and then I'll slope my shoulder with 1 inch. Okay, so now I'm going to add my darts. The nipple to nipple I'm working with is 5 inches. So I'll be putting the darts there. 5 inches darts. So I'm going to come to the waistline from here. I'll go up with 4.5 inches. And then from here, I'll also come down with 4.5 inches. You can see it is not touching the hip yet, all right? So we take it straight. So on the waist, on that waist part, I'll take 1/2 inch on both sides. And then I'll connect it. All right, so now I'm going to take this line down. Just not really taking it down, just indicate your line. Make sure you get your nipple to nipple here. All right, so with this you can be able to get that curve we want. All right, before I start getting the curve, let's add all our measurements. The bust, like I said, is going to be 47 divided by 4. We have 11.7. I'll be adding just 2 inches for my allowance. The under bust I'm working is 40, 10 inches plus 2 inches allowance. The waist we are working with is 44. We have 11 inches plus 2 inches allowance. And then the hip we are working with, we said is 56. Divided by 4, we should have around 13.5. Okay, 14, that's 14 inches. So I'll put it here and I'll add my 2 inches allowance. So whatever I have here, since I have 14 from my hip, whatever I have here, I'm going to add extra on the down part because it's like flake. It's looking flake down. So since I have 14 here, I'll make here 15 inches. And then I'll add 2 inches on my allowance. So I'll connect all this line. Now I'm going to ignore this, I'll ignore this on the bust. I'll just take it to the bust so that it gives me a fine shape. When I'm sewing, I'll know how to alter all this. So this is the gown. Now it's time to get the down parts of this gown. Now if you are working with this your own, make sure your fabric is folded into, paper is folded into 2. I'm trying to manage the paper I have, so we're going to continue now. So around here, I'll take 1.5 inch. Okay. Now you remember I told you to mark this area where your dart is. Okay. So check what you have there. So I have 3 inches. Now the reason why I use 1.5 here is because you know I'm in plus size. All right. If you want to use, you can use 1 inch. All right. Okay. So I have from the distance of that 1.5 to here, I have around 3.5 inches. So I'll put the 3.5 inch around here. Okay. So I'm going to connect this. When I'm not get to the, I'll just come down here too with 1 inch. From the hip part, just come down with 1 inch. So I'll connect it there. So once I connect there, I'll also connect this one too. Okay, so I've connected this. So now I'm going to still put that 1.5 inches again. And then check what you have here. It's 7. So I'm going to check for the half of it. So I'm going to take 5 inches there again. The 5 inches is somewhere here, so half of it should be around 2.5, which is here. So I'll come down there with 1 inch like I did for the other one. So from here I'll connect. So I'm covering it in here. All right. So we are covering it in instead of using here. It's going to affect us if we use there. So I just look for a way to cover it in here so it doesn't affect our work. All right. So this is it. So I'm going to use this to cut out the back, and then we proceed. Now, if you notice, what I did was that I had to remove the allowance, okay? So you are going to add your allowance now. I think it's better. I'm going to add just 1 inch allowance so that I will know it's just my allowance for closing, okay? All right, so just add 1 inch for what our allowance. And then once we do that, I'll cut out the back. But the fabric is much, so let me use this to cut the back. So I have 2 inches for my zipper allowance. So you can see this is 2 inches. You can use 1 inch or 1.5. So I'll be using this for my zip allowance. Remember, add your 1 inch for your sewing allowance. So I'll add 1/2 inch round. You can see. See, we added 1/2 inch to all our work. All right, so I'm opening up this place. Okay, so this is for the front, the back side. Okay, this is the back side. So now I'll go ahead and do for the front side. Now this is the front part. As you can see, I'm done with it. So I'll show you the back part also. So this is the back side. You can see this is for the back. You can see the zip allowance. All right. And so I also went ahead to cut the sleeve. I want to put sleeve on my own, so I'll be using a tulle sleeve. They call it petal sleeve also. So whatever sleeve you want to put, because I want to wear it to church, I wouldn't want the hand to be sleeveless, so I'll be using a tulle sleeve for it. I know I didn't show you how to cut it. So this is the sleeve. You can see it's a tulle sleeve. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to use this light wadding because the fabric is a little bit stretchy, and I don't want it to be stretchy at all. So I'll be using this light wadding to make it firm, just to make it sewable. All right, so I'll cut it out and iron it, and then cut out my lining, and then we'll start stitching. All right, so I went ahead to add my light wadding to all of them. So this is giving it the kind of firmness I want. You can see it's okay now. It's very firm. So I'll now go ahead and start sewing. Then for the lining of the sleeve, I added gumster to it. It's a normal gumster. I also added gumster to the neck of the linings. So I'm going to go and start stitching. I added light wadding to all of them so you can see. So I'll trim off the excesses I have. Then I'm going to start sewing. You can see the fabric I'm working with is like a lycra shiny fabric. It's not really a poly material. It's something like a lycra, but this lycra is not too stretchy, and so it's light. You know, lycra materials are light, so that's why I added the lightest wadding on it, so that to give it the firmness I want. All right, so we'll go and start stitching. Gone ahead to turn up all my work. Like for the sleeve, all I need to do now is to join these two together. If I join these two together, and it will give me my sleeve, like I'm closing it from. You can decide to fold it in and sew, or you weave it. All right, so this is the sleeve. I'm going to run a stitch around here, hold it together, and then I'll put it on my armhole and stitch. All right, so this is the back side. I've also gone ahead, after I finish ironing my stays and all that, I've gone ahead to do all my turn up. So try and turn all your work up. Turn all of them up, right? Okay. So this is the down part. This is the down part too. I've turned everything up. So as you can see, it's my lining is all turned up. So what I'm going to do right now is I will get the front part. So this is my front part. You can see I've added my darts also. So make sure your darts, you add your darts. So I'll go ahead and close this up. So as you can see, this is the zipper allowance. I'm going to put the zip, okay, and then I'm going to stitch here. I'll stitch here, and then I'll stitch here, and then once I'm done with doing this, I'll do the same thing to the front part. Now the front part, I'll stitch the sides, join my shoulder. I'll also stitch the side. I also have my zip allowance also, okay. I'll join the two shoulders, stitch the side, cut off all my excesses. Once I'm done with doing that, I will now I'll bring the two of them together, and once we do that, we will now go straight to the next part. Now you can go ahead and put your sleeve. All right, so let's do that now. So this is me joining the net to the down part. So just keep gathering the net. Once you gather, you keep joining gently until you are done with joining. So there's no much deal on doing this. All right, just keep gathering and make sure the gathers is full, so that it will not be exposing the satin you are wearing under. So as you can see, I gathered it well. So make sure you gather your own well. So just keep gathering until you are done with all the sides.
So once I was done with joining the nets, I went ahead to join my lining. As you can see, that same place you joined your upper bodies and lower bodies from, that is where you're going to join the lining. So I did it, and I turned it up with it. Okay, so as you can see, it's turned up. Everything is now turned inside out. All right, so I'll just go ahead and add my zipper to it. You can see how beautiful it came out. So I'll go ahead and put my sleeve and then add my zipper allowance. So once I'm done with doing that, I will show us how beautiful it came out. Alright, so if today is the first time of coming to this channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you've not subscribed, please do subscribe. Alright, so this is the finished look of the gown. Since it's my gown, you'll be able to see all those parts and all that. So I'll be wearing it very soon. Once I wear it, I'll show you how it's looking. Well, it came out so beautiful because immediately I stepped out for church, people were just saying, wow, this gown is fine, it's fine, it's fine. I say from the beginning of the first person that saw me to the end of the first person that, as the last person that saw me, they were all saying, this gown is so beautiful. Alright, so we are going to be drawing the carpet here. You can see the gown is very, very long here. I later cut it to the length of what I wanted, alright? So, okay, I ended up using 25 yards of net. 25 yards, yes, you had me right. 25 yards, that's what I ended up using. Alright, so this is where I was working my gown, and I just came back from church here. Alright, all stressed up. It actually rained, but I thank God that the rain did not ruin my beautiful dress. Okay, so what do you think about the dress? It came out so beautiful. And then, if this tutorial was very helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you again in my next class. My name is Cynthia. Bye.